Yo, Descendant, Augiesaint here, and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and it is time for the weekly reactor update on TFT. We have the components as well, and as you guys suggested on the last video in the comment section, we're going to be giving you guys a top 3 reactor spot for the week. So we'll have the fixed reactors as always down below in the TFT Bible. This is all linked in the description, so you guys can go check it out and come check out the fixed spots. These spots will never change, and we also highlighted them, so like all the bold ones over there are the best spots for that one, or for this one, or for any one of these. The bold ones are the best missions for the corresponding reactors. These are fixed, these will never change. There's a whole video covering how this all works, but we are getting into the weekly reactors for this week. Like you guys suggested, I'm going to show you guys 3 different ones each week, and these are only really good farms. So if there's not at least 3 really good farms, we'll just show you guys up to 3 notable reactors for the week. And as you can see, we have color coded them again. So this is high impact rounds, this is like impact rounds, and then these are general rounds. And then the type of reactor itself is non-attribute tech over there. So that's going to be for Kyle and for Ajax. We have fire tech, which is going to be for Lepic. And that one's actually perfect because it is fire tech and it is impact rounds, which is beautiful for Lepic. So if you are still missing his one, go ahead and farm that up. And then this one is going to be chill tech. This is obviously only going to be for Viessa, as I believe Haley is chill singular and chill, I don't know what her other one is, but I know chill singular is the main thing she focuses on. So this one over there is purely for Viessa. And then we do have the components as well this week. Auxiliary powers, if you're still looking for a good one, and a processor. Both of these missions are pretty mid. Neither of them are really, really good. But if you guys are hunting a specific, role on, just a legendary component, then there you guys go. Those are the 2 farms for the week. Without further ado, let's hop straight into these notable reactors for the week. First up, we have the non-attribute tech ones. This is for Kyle Ajax. You can be found in the White Knight Gulch. We come to Moongrave Basin, and the mission we'll be doing is the water cooling recording device. It's a Caesar mission. And as you guys know from previous videos, this one is one of the best farms in the game. Just make sure you kind of reduce the range of your bunny a little bit, and also do not run high voltage on this. If you're on high voltage, that's going to be quite difficult to farm, because how you kind of want to do it is you want the mobs to spawn in the first set of mobs, let the range mobs go to the point, and that way they'll keep the point from like capping. So you can just run the mission over and over until you fail at about, I think it's about 4 minutes or so. And then if the mobs sit on the point will never capture. So you can just run out the whole 4 minutes while you are farming the 2 different spawn points. There's one spawn point inside the cave, and then there's the other spawn point right outside in the water. So if you have a bunny without high voltage, and maybe reduce your range a little bit, as you guys can see in the background, I'm struggling a little bit because my bunny is on max range. So you kind of want to avoid killing the mobs on the point, because if you do kill them, the mission is going to complete rather fast. I believe in like 30 to 40 seconds the mission will complete. So then you can't have as much time to farm it out. So make sure you reduce your range, don't run high voltage. And then the stats I'll be looking for this is, since it's going to be a reactor for Kyle and for Ajax. For Kyle, it's going to be very specific. It's going to be a bossing reactor. What I could suggest is Colossus damage. It has to be Colossus damage. And then the second stat could either be tech boost or non-attribute boost, whichever one of those 2 you get first. And then for Ajax, since it will be a mobbing reactor, I could suggest going for cooldown reduction and also a damage boost. So either tech boost or non-attribute boost is what I would suggest. And then next up on the list, we have the fire tech impact rounds reactors dropping, and these are going to be specifically for Lepic. You guys can find them in the White Knight Gulch, the shipment base, and the mission we're running is the Fortress Outskirt. It is a composite mission. It's also a pretty famous, it used to be a really famous farming spot back in the day, but they have nerfed it since. Although after the nerfs, it's still a pretty decent farming spot. It's nowhere near as good as what it used to be, but it's a very quick and simple, easy farm that also does drop the blue brains, which you need for the catalysts as well. So you will be farming up some of those extra materials at the same time. Just hop on a bunny with max range, doesn't matter how much range you have, high voltage, not high voltage, and just run between the 4 points, just killing as many mobs as you can. And if the mobs do take over some of the points, or like pause the points from taking over a little bit longer, then you get a little bit more time out of it. But for the most part, you'll just run it until it says to destroy the points, and then you just abandon the mission and you restart it again. So you just want to like kill all those mobs over and over, because it does spawn a whole lot of mobs while you are still trying to like take over those points and stuff like that. So that's how you farm that, super simple. And then the stats you would look for on the Lepic reactor for bossing is going to be, again, Colossus damage, very important for skill-based bossing builds. And then crit hit damage is the best one if you're building your Lepic around like the crit Lepic, as you should, because crit Lepic is the best bossing Lepic. So you want to build around that crit, and then you want to get the Colossus damage. So that's the 2 stats I'd recommend for the bossing reactor. And then for a mobbing reactor, I could suggest range, cooldown, and then maybe a fire boost or a tech boost. Any one of those 3 that you end up getting first, cooldown and range, and then one of the boosts, depending which one you prefer and how you kind of set up your mobbing build. But if you do have your mobbing build set up with a very specific Transcendence mod that I can't remember the name of, it can give you massive range after you reload. So maybe you don't need as much range then. You can actually just go for cooldown and a boost to fire or to tech, whatever it is you end up using. And then last up, we have the Chill Tech General Rounds Reactor dropping for Viessa. This can be found in the Echo Swamp Abandoned Zone, and it's going to be the Environmental Contamination Zone. This is one of the best farms still as of a long time. It's good for gold. It's not the best for Kuiper, but it's not bad. It also does drop a bunch of Vault Keys, and I believe it drops the red or the green brains. I can't remember what we actually use that for, but it's not anything too important. But overall, it is a really good farm. And then at the same time, this happens to be the fixed reactor spot for the bunny reactor. So while you are farming some Viessa reactors from here, you'll also be getting bunny reactors to drop from here. So that's why it's so good to run this farm, depending on what it is every week, because the fixed spot is really good since it is bunny's fixed location. So you can always get yourself a better bunny reactor in the process. But nonetheless, the stats we will be getting on the Viessa reactor for a bossing reactor is going to be, again, Colossus damage and then chill boost or tech boost, depending on what build you run. If you're running the cold-blooded build, maybe you want to get duration or cooldown, but you just always want to get Colossus damage if it is a skill-based bossing build. And then for a mobbing build, I would say you want to get some range and cooldown. You don't really need damage boost because Viessa's damage multipliers and crit and everything is just crazy already. So I could highly suggest to get cooldown, range, even duration maybe, because you have duration, then you get like one extra tick on your ultimate. You don't need to put any duration on your Descendant modules, so you can actually switch that out for something else. But if you do get duration like in your Descendant modules, you can just pick up cooldown and a damage boost, or you could even go double damage boost. Depends totally on what kind of a build you are after, but those are the stats I would suggest. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, please drop a like and sub to the channel. Helps me out so much. And let me know if there's anything else you would like me to add to these videos for the weeks, because right now we don't really have much to do in TFT besides farm reactors. So hopefully we do get a pretty big update coming soon. I'm going to do a video soon covering the Q&A of the devs. So be on the lookout for that. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you beautiful people in the next video, as well as the live streams. Augiesaint out.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the